The I'm an Entrepreneur Summit is sponsored by FNB in association with our partners.
We are in Polokwane, where Karabo and Temba are discussing low-cost ways to run your business. Zanzi, Mamela.
The way we do business has changed, eh? And so must we.
Oh, yeah.
Did you change your business bank?
Hey, sisters, I finally switched to FNB's First Business Zero.
And?
I now get more than the zero monthly account fee. I get unlimited Mahala card swipes, free business coaching with Fundaba, with FNB app, ngesiZulu, and in 4 other languages, and a free FNB Connect SIM that is already loaded with more data, SMS, and business call time.
More, kanjani?
More low, mhlobo wami, with FNB's First Business Zero.
Oh, yes.
Get more low for your business. Switch to FNB, where one simple change makes a big difference. Well, that's it.
A very big welcome to the I'm an Entrepreneur Summit, proudly brought to you by our sponsor FNB in association with our partners Renault and ShopRite. My name is Karabo Ntweng and I am your host. Here at I'm an Entrepreneur, we are all about helping you build and grow your business. And what a better way to do that than through our topic today, innovation in your business. Now, innovation is an important, powerful strategy that you need in your business to ensure long-term success. It is also extremely important that as a business leader, you lead the process of innovation through various things, such as engaging with your employees and leading them, company culture, using technology, and more. Join us today as we help you understand the need for innovation in your business. If you are watching via YouTube or Facebook, you can engage with us in the comment section. We absolutely love hearing from you. If you are streaming via our website, then you can send a WhatsApp message to 078-350-0768. We're also on the socials. You can join in the conversation on Twitter. We are at IAAESA on Twitter, or the hashtag IAAE Summit. Let's get it started.
Hi everybody, my name is Vanessa Zeki and I am the founder of Be Creative Group. Be Creative Group, it's a holding company that has Be Creative, which is my personal brand, but also an agency. And we focus on events and working on brand strategy with entrepreneurs and brands. I also have the Nest Space, which I co-own with my business partner, Dr. Anesu Mbizo. And we have created a boutique wellness center that specializes and focuses on yoga, zero waste. We have a zero waste shop. We have a vegan restaurant and it's catered to people of color in the wellness space. We also have Organic Nomad, which focuses more on the catering. Since I do all the food at the restaurant, Organic Nomad is just focusing on catering and creating healthy meals and encouraging people to try alternative ways of eating. And then we have African Women Without Borders, which is an NGO. And again, we just do talks and try to sort of create a network of women to empower women. And last but not least, our project that we'll be launching next year is called Urzali, and that's a self-care brand that focuses on product. The only brand I have that has product, and our products will be incenses, essential oils, candles, just basically self-care products that sort of encourage you to get into that state. So my entrepreneurship journey has always been that from the start. I am originally from Lesotho. I grew up in Canada and England, and I came to South Africa when I was at UCT. And I think I've never had an actual real job except while I was in high school. So for me, entrepreneurship has just been the most natural thing. I started this journey because I really hone into the idea that you do what you love and then you find a way to get paid for it. And I felt like the way the school structure and the work structure was set up was you find a job and then you find a way to love it. And that would never have been sustainable to me. So I just looked around. So my first business was Bank Productions while I was still in university that I co-owned with 3 other ladies. And it was essentially because we were party girls. We loved to party. We were in the clubs all the time. And so it was like, okay, we should be getting paid for this. And so we created our own promotions company and threw all the hottest parties in Cape Town at the time. So it's honestly come from a need of just wanting to do what I love and also needing the money and wanting the money to sort of support me. So for me, innovation is crucial to my journey as an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is, for me personally, is about finding a problem that exists in society, in whatever space, whether it be in the creative space, in the wellness space, and solving that problem with your business approach. So for example, if I look at the Nest space, the problem that existed was that there were so many yoga studios and wellness centers, but that felt very violent to Black people in a sense, because you would find that you're the only person of color doing yoga. You'll find that it doesn't really connect to your own background. And it just wasn't a fun place to heal. And so we solved or attempted to solve that problem by creating a space for us, by us, where the owners are people of color, the teachers are people of color, in order to promote a space where people of color can actually really put their guard down and not feel judged or feel othered in a space that is supposed to do the opposite. And that's innovation for me. It's not necessarily creating something, but it's creating something, a solution to a problem that exists in society. Similar to Be Creative, that's less of a problem that existed within society, but it existed for me. I am a person who gets bored if I do one thing. I have my interests are wide and varied. And I think the thing that I can singularly differentiate myself with from a lot of other entrepreneurs is just how strong my network is. It goes across the board, across industries. And so the problem was, how do I make money out of my network and out of the things I love? And so that was more solving a personal problem and innovating and creating a life that I didn't necessarily see outside of myself. So that's how I would define it. And those are the sort of approaches that I've taken in as examples in my businesses. I think the benefits are definitely the fact that we are the first to do it. So when you're driving innovation, you're usually in a very lonely category with not a lot of people doing what you're doing. So then there's not much to compare your journey with anyone else's. So you do have the freedom to make mistakes, and anything you do is great, to be honest, because there's nothing like that exists. So I think that's the main benefit of driving innovation in our businesses, is you mostly sometimes come out as the first and the only. I think in the process of driving innovation, the challenge is having to get people to understand the vision and understand what you're trying to put forth, because they have no reference. I know, for example, when we expanded the yoga studio and introduced the vegan cafe, most of the people that our investors and people that we're looking for capital were like, who's your target market? And we're like, Black people. And they're like, that's impossible. Black people love meat and they eat meat. And the chances of them supporting an establishment that it doesn't serve meat is just wrong. And so those were the challenges we came across. And it took real belief when us having to bootstrap the process and not getting as much funding as we required. And then basically when we opened up for the first, every weekend, our buffet was sold out from Black people. So those are the challenges. It's like, unless you show it, till you show it, people then have all kinds of assumptions about a huge demographic like Black people. How can you say Black people only eat meat? Like, that's crazy. You've got to really prepare to walk a very lonely path. With the Nest, I'm lucky I had a Nest too, but with my other businesses, I am quite lonely I've only recently been building a team around me. And so be prepared for being alone and having to really mentally support yourself. And we don't speak enough about the mental implications of the road of entrepreneurship or innovation. If you're doing something that hasn't been done or that people doubt can be done, you're going to come up with a lot of resistance, and it's going to force you to question yourself. And you really need to have built a foundation where you don't question yourself, you believe in yourself more than anyone else does. And I think that's a really key learning from me, was just kind of bogging down and just being like, you know what, I believe in me, and so everyone else can catch up. I think especially for entrepreneurs of color, it's really, really difficult to access financial assistance, especially if you're in the creative space or not in the space where it is tested and proven to have results. So you will need to bootstrap and you will have less than others. But if your idea is great, if your innovation is something that is truly needed in the world, you will be supported no matter how hard it is. So those are probably two of the key findings that I found on this journey of innovation and entrepreneurship.
What an inspiring story from serial entrepreneur and creative Vanessa Tseki. Truly passionate and just goes off and innovates in everything that she does. Coming up after the break, we've got a consultation due with the business doctor. Stay tuned.
So this is the car.
Turn left.
I don't need that.
Dad, turn left. So?
Let's go shopping. Come on.
The best way to enjoy a mushroom is just to eat a mushroom. I've been growing mushrooms on this farm for 21 years now. We started supplying checkers. We were very excited about it. We are still very excited because it allowed us to have access to more than 364 stores. And that allows us to deliver a lot more volume. It enabled us to grow to where we are today. We currently supply more than 16,000 first-grade pallets of mushrooms. When we are operating fully, we have a staff complement of about 175, which is permanent jobs. And 52% would be women. Some of them have been here for more than 20 years. A lot of people eat with their eyes, so they have to look nice, even though it doesn't correspond to the taste. They always taste nice. But our mushrooms look better because we control better.
We are in Krugersdorp with Cindy and Loiso, who's about to find out that with the FNB app, there's no excuses.
Honey, let's go. We need to book flights for our getaway.
Skawara, love. We can book and pay for flights and car hire securely on the FNB app. Plus, we get bonus slow lounge visits to relax before our flights.
No. I forgot my card. We can't pay for this.
Skawara. I can scan to pay using FNB Pay on the FNB app.
Does the FNB app help you get life insurance?
Yeah, that and more in the palm of my hand.
Skawara. Take a leap with help.
Switch to FNB, where one simple change makes a big difference.
Welcome back. You are still watching the I'm an Entrepreneur Summit, brought to you by FNB in association with Renault and ShopRite. You are right on time for a consultation with our resident business doctor, Gitumetsi Lekaba. Today she digs deep and lets us in on how you can start the innovation process in your business.
Hello, entrepreneurs. Welcome to another segment with myself, the business doctor, Gitumetsi Lekaba, MD at I'm an Entrepreneur, driving innovation within your businesses. When I think of this one, I think of it in two folds. One, modifying internal control processes to make business easier for yourself. And two, modifying products and services for your customers. So then I thought, let me share 5 tips to help you drive innovation in your business. Number 1, listen to your customer. Ask questions. Ask them what they want more out of the product and service that you're offering, and then innovate to give them what they had said. 2, face your fear of change. Once you know what your customers want, face the fear of change and start innovating your products and services to create a better service for the customer. 3, embrace the feeling of feeling uncomfortable. Change will always be uncomfortable in businesses, but once you've done your research, you've asked your customers what they want, you innovate based on the research that you've done, it's okay to be uncomfortable about it. Embrace it, as long as it is translating into profits and revenue to your business. 4, empower your teams. Once you know what it is your customers need from your product or service, empower your team to be able to give them the same service. 5, network. Speak to people. Find out in your industry, in the environment that you are operating in, what are the things that other people are doing? 1, to make business better for themselves, and 2, to improve products and services. Once you know, then you can start implementing those things within your business and drive the innovation that we speak about. With that said, good luck in driving innovation in your businesses, and good luck in driving those sales because of the innovation.
Another successful house call with the Business Doctor. Thank you very much, Kitumeti, for all those tips about innovation in your business. What were your key learnings from the Business Doctor today? Let us know. If you are watching via YouTube or on Facebook, engage with us in the comment section, or you can also send us a WhatsApp message if you are streaming via our website. The number is 078-350-0768. Up next, let's catch up on entrepreneurship news from here and around the globe.
Let's take a look at news from here and around the world that could impact your business. In August, Adobe released its Future of Creativity study, a comprehensive view into the global creator economy and how creativity is changing across the world. The study defines creators as professionals and non-professionals creating original content for their jobs or passions, including designers, photographers, filmmakers, illustrators, and hobbyists. The study shows that the creator economy has unlocked new opportunities for millennials that are drawn to less traditional careers. The study had some interesting stats for current and future business owners. Over 165 million people joined the creator economy in 9 main global markets since 2020, representing massive industry growth. 17% of creators are business owners, whilst 39% aspire to become a business owner one day, reflecting a changing route towards business for young millennials. So, what does this mean for you as a creative entrepreneur? Well, Africa represents the fastest growing and largest untapped digital media market in the world, and the opportunities remain tremendous for entrepreneurs looking to grow their content development business and take advantage early of a global trend that is only accelerating. For more information on the survey, visit news.adobe.com. Lastly, the Retail Clothing, Footwear, Textile and Leather Master Plan, which was signed in 2019 and supported by big industry players in the sector, appears to be finally bearing fruit. In the last month alone, Hazel Pillay, the general manager of Pick n Pay Clothing, has confirmed that they plan to increase local buying to 60%, and the Foschini Group, through CEO Anthony Turnstrom, has said, as with the local manufacture of apparel, we expect to realize similar commercial benefits from local production of homeware such as sofas, linen and beds, including improved cash flow and reduced inventory holding requirements, whilst avoiding global supply chain disruptions and elevated freight costs. There are similar initiatives from all the big retailers in South Africa. If you're in this space, it would seem like now is the perfect time to start looking at your manufacturing capacity, because there is clearly opportunity with the manufacturing gap that was created by years of import strategy.
In a fast-paced, ever-changing business environment, it is so important to stay abreast of what is happening in the news, especially if innovation is a business strategy that you want to make sure you use for long-term success in your business. Coming up next, Viewpoint and On the Shelf. You don't want to miss it.
We're with Keegan, who's spreading his changeable knowledge about FNB's Business Hub.
Ever thought of branching out across the country?
I'd like to, but I don't really know how.
With FNB's Business Hub, Mahala, on the FNB app, there are tools on how to grow your business. You can learn business skills with Fundaba that has excellent practical information on most business topics. Or tune into Business Talk for industry news via podcasts, articles, and videos. There's also the Business Toolkit on how to navigate a crisis. You can learn whenever, even while on the move.
How? All this from the bank. How?
On the FNB app.
How?
How, Wayne? Switch your business to a bank that helps you level up your business skills. Switch to FNB, where one simple change makes a big difference.
This is where the story begins. It's my daughter's 11th birthday party. She wanted to have a bunch of friends over, so there was lots of pizza. It was epic. Got onto my phone and I Googled corn dogs near me. Nothing showed up. How do I not have corn dogs in Joburg? So I thought, okay, well then it's fine. I'll just make my own. Corn dogs were the #1 favorite of the day. I told my husband, he was like, you could be onto something. So the rest is history. He was like, let's do something about it. I started calling every hour for several days. I was very persistent. We got our meeting set up with the buyer, with a promise, and had a billion questions, which he answered them all. The day that our awesome distributors came to pick up these packets, I couldn't believe they were leaving, and it felt like my children were leaving my house. So they entered stores, and I tell you, for the first week, myself, my husband, my staff, everybody in my family, we were finding every checkers that we could and making sure the temperatures were the correct temperature, checking sure the boxes were stacked okay, watching people buy our product. It was incredibly well received. And today we've got about 38 staff, and we can see what the employment we've given them is doing in the lives of the community. This additional income is helping us expand our business to places we didn't think or know it could get to. So we have an original chicken flavor, a chicken cheese, and a chili cheese, or jalapeno cheese. So we want to cater for everybody, and we do. No one ever has one, ever.
Welcome back. You're watching the I'm an Entrepreneur Summit, proudly brought to you by FNB in association with Renault and ShopRite. Up next, our feature on the shelf, brought to you by our partners at ShopRite, who give you insight and information on how you can get your products on the shelf at ShopRite.
Hi, I'm Maud Modise from the ShopRite Group, and this is On the Shelf, where we talk about what it takes to get your product retail ready. Today, I've got Mpho from Precious & Pearl, who manufactures khemere, good old khemere in a ready-to-drink format and in a concentrate form. Hi, Mpho.
Hi, Maud. Thanks for having me today.
I just want to find out, maybe if you can give us more context with regards to your product. What is it? How did you decide, you know what, I want to sell khemere the good old way and get it into retail?
So, as we know, khemere is a conversation starter at home during Easter, during the festive season. It's just a happy drink that we normally have. It's a South African drink that we all enjoy. And so we realized that a lot of people don't know how to make khemere. The knowledge has not been passed on by the older generation to the younger generation. And it takes a long time to prepare. So people are just struggling to just make khemere. So we just thought, why not mass produce it? People love it, and they just have it on an everyday life. Yeah.
So basically, you're solving for a problem, and you're also making money along the way.
Yeah, we're selling convenience basically.
And then so people can buy it in a concentrate format and actually make, just dilute it with water, and then it's the same product that we would make at home.
Easy as that. People have it in different ways. Obviously, we know ginger obviously has a lot of health benefits. So people have it with honey, lemon, cayenne pepper, all sorts of things. That's what happened with COVID, actually. And then people have it as popsicles for kids, and obviously people do dash with it sometimes. So it's quite a versatile product that people have it in different ways.
So why did you decide, you know what, this is the one product that I want to go into market? Was it something that you were taught, or how did the opportunity arise for you to decide that you wanted to take it into retail?
I was in corporate before, and I used to travel quite a lot. I had to choose between obviously starting a family life and actually continuing with corporate. And It took a toll on my family life, so I just had to choose obviously what I need to do. So at the time I didn't have an idea what I want to do, and obviously the opportunity to make khamere came through a friend and who suggested it, and I thought that's a brilliant idea. We don't really find it quite a lot, especially when we live in suburbs. People love khamere, but there's no access for khamere because it's usually a special drink that you get during special events. And we just thought, why not do it? And I ran with the idea, and here we are today. People are enjoying it every day.
So if you can just give us a bit more context with regards to the listing process. How did you go about getting in contact with ShopRite and getting your product on the shelf?
So I went through the portal, obviously, and then I got a response from one of the buyers, and they took me through a list of what you need to have for you to be listed with ShopRite. Luckily enough, I think I was prepared. I had most of the things there, and I actually responded and said, okay, I have most of the things that you've listed here. What's the next step? And they took me through the next step, and obviously it took a few months back and forth with giving information and what information they would need from me. And here we are today, and we listed with ShopRite.
Now, with the listing documents, was it easy to read? Is it fairly simple, or do you need some other legal expert to advise you if you're signing your life away or what's going on? Or was it a fairly easy process for you? Was there any hand-holding involved?
Lucky enough for me, the documents were quite easy to go through. You don't really need legal advice or anything like that. I don't know for others, but the documents were quite easy for me to go through and understand them. And obviously for us, when we started listing, after they asked for samples, they had to check our label if the requirements are okay on the label, and they did give us a few advice on what to change on the labels, and I found that quite helpful for us because, I mean, when you're a small business, sometimes you don't get that opportunity for someone to go through and see if you've done things correctly, and I appreciate that for ShopRite to do that for us.
So you took the advice, you went and did all the adjustments,
Yes.
and you went with it, and you came back and said, guys, I'm ready.
I'm ready, yeah, we did that.
So Mpho, what's next for you?
So what's next? We hope to list nationally with most retail stores, obviously. And obviously we hope to export our product because we know in neighboring countries, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, people are familiar with the product. So who knows, maybe we might take it to America one day and they just taste the great South African drink and get to know what South Africa is all about through our product.
But also, what were the challenges now with starting a business of this magnitude? I mean, one person can look at it and say, you know what, I can make this at home. Yeah. How do you convince a consumer to then just take your product and buy it?
I think we took it quite seriously. From the beginning, we said we want khamere to be a household brand. And obviously that goes in the background of how you make your product safe for your customers, how you get food safety, and do things the right way and not just mix it for the sake of just mixing it and selling it to other people. So we had the end in mind and making the product, or obviously the brand, bigger so that people do experience a product that's safe to consume. But also we just wanted to just bring a twist to a traditional drink. So when you get to retail stores, obviously you need to consider things like shelf life. So we had to take that into consideration, that we want this product to stay in the shelves and be able to compete with other drinks also. And we obviously bring a different taste in the juice market, because khamere or traditional ginger beer is not something that's used to. Most of the ginger beers that are on the shelf are milk based, so we bring a true traditional drink, a traditional taste that people are used to, and obviously with a twist. So we like to say khamere nights kids on go private school. So, so yeah.
So for the next time I have Mcimbi at home, I can literally buy like 5 liters of concentrate, get home, put some water on it, and it tastes as good as the homemade one.
We've got you. We just mix with water and it's ready. For all the people who are like convenience like us, we got you covered.
Okay, thanks, Mpho. Can't wait to see what the future has in store for your company, and can't wait to see it grow.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our partners at ShopRite always have some gems to share on how you can get your products on the shelf. Thank you so much for that one. Coming up next, here's media guru Jeremy Max with Viewpoint.
Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to another edition of Viewpoint, where we try to find out the habits and I think the little secrets of people who have really made a success of their entrepreneurial businesses and their journeys. My name is Jeremy Maggs, and today our topic of discussion is driving innovation in your business. Driving innovation in your business. It's so important. What do I mean by that? It's that recognition that any business that wants to thrive going forward has to understand that it is constantly changing in a very dynamic paradigm. And in order to stay ahead of the competition, you've got to keep thinking. You've got to keep developing ideas. You have to keep innovating. In just a moment, I'm going to talk to master innovator and serial entrepreneur Kabi Magongwa, who is the managing director of Darkchild Productions and CEO of the Pride Group. Driving innovation in business. It's a conversation that I'm really looking forward to, and I hope you enjoy it. Kabi, a very warm welcome to you. Before we start talking about what drives innovation in business, let's get a bit of context if we can. Darkchild Productions, the Pride Group. Let's get the background.
Right, thank you very much. Good to be here. So Darkchild Productions, first of all, the name, right? People are asking me, hey, how did you come up with this? So Darkchild Productions is actually a producer in the music industry. Back in the 90s, artists like Brandy, back then Destiny's Child, before Beyonce became Beyonce, there was a guy every time his all of the music that he has produced start, it would be like Darkchild, and I just thought it sounded so cool.
Got a nice ring, yeah.
Yeah, it had a nice little ring, and I was like, okay, maybe we can have a little Darkchild Productions, which is what we do. And at the time, you're starting a company, and you're not even too sure where it's gonna go. You didn't do commerce, you don't know anything about a company, so you just kind of like, you're playful. You're just going with the flow. And yeah, it was 2004 when I decided I'm not a corporate man. I was just not feeling like it's something that I want to do and, follow rules. And I just wanted to do something. And I remember saying it to myself, I would do anything to get half my salary as long as I do what I'm passionate about. And at the time, basketball was my everything. Like I breathed, ate basketball, and I wanted to do something that I felt something we could grow. So Darkchild Productions was born, and that was 2004 actually. And since then, it's been growing.
And a lot of ventures since then, obviously.
A lot of ventures. And yes, sometimes when you start something, they say passion sometimes doesn't pay the bills. And I could not see how I'll be able to have a sustainable business in the basketball industry, especially in South Africa. I mean, in the US, you can create like a really formidable business. But in South Africa, it was, it had a dependency on the federation itself to do well. So if the federation was doing well and the sport was growing, you were going to do well because you're just one individual. But the federation wasn't doing well, and it just felt like, I needed to expand it a little bit and do other things. And within Darkchild Productions, we decided we're not just going to be a basketball activation business. I've got a marketing background. I'm a chartered marketer. And I felt, I could, with the background that I had in the research industry, I could help some companies in the consulting business.
One of the words that you've just used is rules. In order to be innovative, to be entrepreneurial, do you have to break the rules?
You have to. Everybody that conforms by the rules means, you're just going to get in and find things the way they are and leave them exactly how they are.
So how have you broken the rules?
So first of all, no one understood how I'm going to build a business around basketball. I did not have a business plan. I did not care about that. All I had was my mind and my heart, my passion. And I mean, the sport has been growing globally. Boys and girls, men, women play the sport. And outside South Africa, here in Africa, it's the second biggest sport.
How does an entrepreneur know when to break those rules?
I think for me, it was more of the frustration in the corporate world. It just wasn't me. It didn't feel like I'm home and I'm settled and I want to grow with, grow with title. I just wanted to feel free. I wanted to feel like I could do whatever it is that I imagined. And that for me was the driving factor. It wasn't about, like what I've seen frustrates other people as well is that within the corporate world, you could come up with an idea and this, that, and the other. If your senior or somebody that you report to is not feeling it, maybe it's a good idea and it doesn't go anywhere. And that would frustrate me. And in a world where you can think it, you can do it, is what for me was driving.
In a world where you can think it, you can do it, and part of it is having an understanding, an appreciation, an application of technology. That is critical. So when it comes to driving innovation in business, how important in your experience has technology been?
It's been everything. First of all, you can only do so much as a human being in the space where you are. And technology take you to the world. You can exchange ideas. You can use technology to be able to access a whole lot more people. I mean, what happened with WhatsApp, what happened with Facebook, what's happening with now the FIBA platform in the world of basketball 3x3, which has now become an Olympic sport. Just communication. So technology is everything. Like everything that you can imagine, we had like an individual, like we had a computer, we had you had to go to the bank, you had to print, all of that stuff has now been reduced to just one phone.
So to the entrepreneurs that are watching our conversation today, define for them, explain to them how they should approach that relationship to technology. Yeah. Because a lot of people are afraid of it, or they don't see the value in it, or they don't use it properly.
So here's a simple example, right? In a world where you don't want to embrace technology, WhatsApp can change your world financially, right? So you're not buying minutes, it's at its simplest form. You're not buying minutes to make a call, which is an expensive, I don't even remember how much, cost per minute is. But you buy data, you can call, you can transact, you can create groups where you can communicate something once, everybody knows exactly what's going on. So you have to embrace technology so that you are able to do so much more in a short space of time. So that is just one small, very simple example, but it changes everything.
And Gabby, it's not just embracing technology, because I think that's a given these days. The reality is if you don't have an appreciation and an understanding of technology, you are at a disadvantage. I think the challenge is to make sure that you keep up with technology all the time. I see you nodding your head. How do you do that?
So, unfortunately, ignorance is a reality. Sometimes we have these things called cell phones, and we don't even use probably more than 50% of its power.
Mm. So, bit of WhatsApp, bit of Google, bit of Facebook, that's it.
A bit of banking, yeah. Yeah. So it all depends how
Don't forget Uber Eats, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think really conversations that are happening amongst peers, they get to tell you about stuff that you don't know. And really it's about when you hear it, you must try it. Like I was recently, I don't know everything about technology. I mean, my age is giving, not to give up my age, but, like every so often somebody would propose an app, and the one app, can't remember its name, where people can actually network. Now you can just, walk into a room, virtually walk into a room and become part of the networking session. And you can choose what kind of networks you want to be a part of. I did not know that. But when I actually read about what the app does, I was like, actually, this is pretty cool. So if I can do it, and I meet somebody that could eventually lead me to more business or some sort of a collaboration, that on its own is what technology can do for you.
It's a different conversation, but don't let's underestimate the power of the network. Absolutely critical when it comes to innovation. Again, back to the topic, driving innovation in your business. What's your definition of innovation?
So innovation is exactly that. It's when you can walk into a world and then come back with a totally different world on the other side. And essentially, that's how you change lives. That's how you change the world. So to me, it really, and you don't actually have to be the innovator. You just have to.
You got to curate those ideas. Yeah.
Exactly.
Good research.
Good research. Yeah. Pull whatever it is that is legally possible to be able to use, share the information, and actually make it work for your business.
So you're on a constant curve of ideas.
Constantly.
So as you wake up in the morning, as you're engaging, as you're thinking, you've got to keep ideating. Am I right?
And find the technology that will help you realize that dream. And that's really where the technology comes into play. So the innovation it's not necessarily about somebody who always comes up with the next coolest app or the next best phone or whatever, next best this, that, and the other. Really, innovation is pulling all these elements and bringing them together so that life in general for yourself and for people around you becomes easier and better.
With the understanding that it doesn't matter if you fail. You can have so many ideas and you'll develop it to a point. Some of them might never get beyond the phase or the stage of ideas, but that's okay, isn't it?
You don't focus on failure. Failure is not an option. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. It's not really about failing. Every time something doesn't work out, you've learned why it didn't, and you'll try do it differently next time. So as an entrepreneur, you do not fail. You can only learn. So I don't know where
even if it hurts.
Even if it hurts. Most of the time it hurts. But you got to
learn.
And
financially too.
All emotionally, financially, in every which way. I don't even know how many businesses have failed, but I don't focus on that. That's not how I think. When they fail, and you deal with that emotion, and then you learn from it, and then you keep it moving.
So it's all very well to be an individual innovator. That's important. But when you are within an organization, it's also critical, I imagine, to allow your employees to become innovators themselves. How then do you create a culture of entrepreneurial innovation within an organization?
In my nature, the kind of person that's detached. I do not hold my business as if it's my baby. So what I do is I empower everyone to be able to make the decisions, fail at them, and be okay with the fact that you failed, because I failed myself. So I don't go to the office. All I do is every Monday we have our status, meeting, and everybody gets to say what it is that they've done last week, what it is that they're doing this week, and what they think they need to do to change and better the company. And I give them carte blanche to do it however way they want to.
With the understanding that they might not get it right, they might not do it because you're giving them a lot of freedom, or they might get it wrong.
So even if I had to do it, I might not get it right myself. So why am I expecting them to get it right all the time? So I failed myself. So why would I want to, or why would I expect them to just be perfect in what it is that they do? The nature of how I manage is, in your own space at your own time, do the best you can for your business. I do not operate out of fear, and I don't want them to operate out of fear. No one is ever wondering whether they'll still have a job or not. The job will always still be there. It's just that out of your own heart, you need to know you must do the job and you must do it right the best you can, and you must try and find ways to add value and innovate to make it better.
And also, when the idea pays dividends, to incentivize or to reward that great thinking.
Absolutely, and that also, like I'd like to think that people always want to better their lives. So essentially, when the business does better, everybody else should do better, and not necessarily individually to you, because if you're the person who made it work, maybe an idea popped up when you were speaking to somebody else, and you just happened to be the person that took it to the next level. So everybody must enjoy the benefit of the whole thing coming together.
You said to me at the beginning of this answer that you don't hold the business close to your heart, if I understood you correctly. And you've got to allow people to innovate and to do what they have to do. Difficult, though, for an entrepreneur to do that, particularly if they have developed and built that business from nothing, have gone through the failures, and are finally seeing the success. It does take a bit of courage to let go, doesn't it?
Earlier on, you do hold on, but I've been in business since 2004. At some point, you also just want to relax and enjoy life. So right now, what drives me is it's not really the money or the things that I want in life. It's really just the freedom, the time, and enjoying life. So what you do is you empower people to do what it is that you would have been doing back in the day, and you get to enjoy the life.
I'm much older than you are, and I absolutely agree with you that the most important commodity, the older you get, is time.
It's time.
You have no idea. And if the entrepreneurs that are watching us today take that lesson away, I think that's absolutely critical. Cabbie, thank you so much. Some valuable life lessons, and I do appreciate you joining me.
Thank you so
much.
You.
What an insightful conversation with serial entrepreneur Kabi and Jeremy Maggs. Now, he has driven so many innovations in various industries that he has worked in. What did you learn from that conversation? Let us know by engaging with us on YouTube and Facebook in the comment section. You can also send us a WhatsApp message, 078-350-0768. We're taking a break, and when we come back, we'll hear from our sponsors, FNB.
Vandaag we're in Midrand with the owners of Go Go Gogos, a changeable business that's keeping Gogos on the move with FNB's speedy on-the-spot payment device. Gogos Go!
It's no secret. Before switching to FNB Business, cash payments were slowing us down.
Now, with FNB's speedy payment device, Go Go Gogos is on the move, now taking card payments on the spot from even more customers.
It's low cost,
contactless,
and it doesn't need to link to another device. Our customers will be able to get their receipts via SMS or email immediately.
Switch to FNB, where one simple change makes a big difference. Go, go, Gogos, go!
Welcome back. You're still watching the I'm an Entrepreneur Summit. We're talking innovation in your business. Now, when it comes to innovation, our partners at FNB are always ranked really high when it comes to being one of the greatest banks with digital innovations in South Africa. To help us understand what they can do for you and your business, here is Yolandi, who is the CEO of NAV at FNB.
Today, we have Yolandi from FNB to speak about all things innovation and driving innovation in your business. Please introduce yourself and tell us what you do at the bank.
All right, so I've got this really cool title of being the Chief Imagineer at FNB. And a lot of people say to me, what on earth is an Imagineer? But it really just talks to the ability of imagining the world and imagining what it is that our customers really need with our customers. And with our stakeholders, and then really engineering it and making it happen, right? Because that's what innovation is about, your ability to take an idea and
make things happen.
Yeah.
And FNB is very famous for being innovative and driving innovation in their business. What benefits have you found FNB to be benefiting from that you can share with entrepreneurs?
I think for me, innovation is really that opportunity to look at your business in a fresh way. And it really gives you a chance just to take a step back and say, but hey, what is going on in markets that I'm involved in, or the ones that are right next to me that's possibly going to disintermediate me?
Yeah.
But if you do that really well, it will give you a chance then to create new or fresh or enhanced solutions for your customers that really address the needs that and the angst that they're facing now and into the future. But for you as a business, it obviously creates a platform for sustainability. So again, you can run your business a lot more effective. You can be a lot more productive in what you do.
Yeah.
And you know, ultimately at the end of the day, people do want to make more revenue. And if you do your innovation in a smart way, it does end up in the revenue pot.
Sure, innovation in a smart way. And I'm hearing fresh ideas. What practical lessons can you give to entrepreneurs to start being innovative in their businesses? How can they be smart and, you know, how can they find these new fresh ideas?
I think one of the biggest mistakes most people make is that they believe that to be successful in innovation, you have to be really creative. And for me, I think innovation is actually just a very deliberate process. Yeah. And I find one of the very useful things is to ask yourself not only what industry you're in, but what business you're in, and what's the difference? Today, you may be BMW and you may be in the automotive industry, but if you listen to them, they're actually in the business of joy. If you think about FNB, we are in the financial services industry, but we're in the business of helping our customers thrive. Now, immediately that changes your mindset. You start thinking different about how you should approach innovation. What is it that you really want to solve for? You know, if I had to sit down every day and just think about solving for financial services, it would mean that I would really just come up with
Financial services
products.
content.
That's Now, because I think I'm in the business of helping people thrive, my whole frame of mind is different. I don't only think, how do I sell you a loan? I actually think, hey, Katie Metsi wants to start her business. And how is it that I step her through the different stages and use all the IP that we've got as a bank and enabling her to start her business in a proper way? So I think from that perspective, really, really powerful. The next thing that I find is, people tend to think with a lot of limitations in their mind. They often, as entrepreneurs, I can definitely count myself in as one. Apparently, if you work in a corporate, you're an intrapreneur. So as entrepreneurs are always full of ideas. But when we start pulling it down and start pulling the balloons down, we often start thinking with limitations. And it's so important that you ask yourself, under which circumstances can I make this happen? Because all of a sudden you open your mind up again and you start thinking with possibility. I do think we all understand these days that we really need to be true to customer needs. But it's a really critical question to ask yourself, once you've identified that gap or that need that you believe does exist, is there just a gap in the market, or is there actually a market in the gap? Small nuance different, massive difference in terms of what it's going to mean for your bottom line, right? Because you ultimately want a market in the gap, that you can benefit from it. Then some of the other things that I've experienced over time is that you have to be really deliberate about getting those first runs on the board. And what I've learned works really well is to be clear on what it is that I want to achieve, but to break that down to some really quick wins. And what the quick wins give me is an opportunity to go back to my funders and say, listen, we are progressing. See, we are delivering these benefits so long. And I always pick phases or that can show real value propositions to customers. So I make sure that in every phase, there's a message that I can take back to customers, that they can see the benefit and also feel the progress. And what you then will find is things will lift in terms of your funders being willing to share more funding,
with
right?
you.
And that is quite often one of our biggest challenges. I also think it's important that you take the time to make peace with it, or actually see the opportunity that you don't need to do it all anymore. Now, I think there was a stage where, as innovators, you had to hustle with your little team and make it all happen. And I think we're living in the absolute best eras in terms of innovation. There are fantastic platforms out there, whether it is a copywriter or a developer
that can help you.
That can help, right? And you just need to contract them for the piece of work that you need. Or we all know we need to get access to markets, right? That's one of the hardest things for us as entrepreneurs. And again, go and look out there. There are today really amazing platforms where these guys do a lot of the hard work. So one of the things that I look at is NAV, and one of the offerings we've got is the marketplace. Why is that a great opportunity? You as an entrepreneur can come and join that platform for free, right?
And other people can find you.
We already have a customer base that we can connect you with, right? And again, we do all the hard work when it comes to digitizing your business in terms of creating that platform, but even important, doing things like managing the risks like cybersecurity, because it's very rare that your average entrepreneur will be au fait in that topic as well, right? So find those platforms where you can get access to markets and expose your business.
And use them. And you touched on my third question, what is it that FNB has that can help entrepreneurs in being innovative and driving innovation in their businesses?
Yeah, so thanks. So obviously the marketplace, and I had to mention that one first, but for a lot of entrepreneurs just starting out with their businesses, I think Fundaba is again a free offering that we've got, and you can go and get some really fantastic insights, tips, and upskill yourself in terms of how it is that you need to start, grow, and run your business. We've got great products. You basically need those basic accounts. That first Business Zero account gets you out of the blocks.
And it's free, right?
Very affordable account, really, really quick to help you get out of the blocks. Today, what is life if you don't have connectivity, right? Here, both of us are sitting with our phones on our laps. So again, I think, our FNB Connect offering, great. Go and access it. Really, really great deals for businesses. So it really is all there. It is about just taking the time, hooking up, and it's available on all our platforms. So again, just really, really easy to benefit from these solutions.
Thank you so much, Yolandi. Once again, FNB giving us tools and nuggets on helping entrepreneurs build and grow their businesses.
Thank you very much to our sponsors, FNB. Keep doing all the amazing work that you do. Coming up next, we've got Word of Mouth, where we go around the country finding out about what you awesome entrepreneurs are getting up to, and who knows, you could get a sale or two. Here's Word of Mouth.
Hello, my name is Lebo. I am a joy coach. I facilitate joy for executives and schools in both work and life. This we do through joy sessions, workshops, team building, and coaching. My business is about helping people create lives that they enjoy and are fulfilled by. And of course, we guide in business processes that have something to do with the expression and connection to human beings. So if it's branding, marketing, and other such functions, or even just creating a vision for personal as well as for business, we guide that. Because you see, if we are in touch with our own hearts, we can connect with other people's hearts. My biggest learning as an entrepreneur is that you learn by doing. You cannot, no matter how many books you read, how much advice you've gotten, we really learn by doing. I don't know anything until I actually arrive and actually do it. And so the courage to do is the biggest, most important thing. I am Lebo, and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Bundu Sipelele Zatu. I'm a clothing brand owner. We, as a clothing brand, design various types of clothes for various types of people. What makes us great is we have a very intimate relationship with our customers. We go the extra mile for our customers. So that's what makes us great. What have I learned? I've learned if you fail at one specific thing, just keep on trying, keep on working at it. At some point, eventually, it will go through. There's a saying that goes as follows: if you stay long enough at the barber shop, you're bound to get a haircut. I am Bundu Sipelele Zatu, and I am an entrepreneur.
Good day. My name is Pumlani Mazubo. I am the founder of Traceless, a business intelligence and data solutions company. Our company was founded to be able to assist businesses within the financial sector. We have a group of professionals working within our team and over 14 years of experience within the financial sector space. You can trust us with your business. Business is tough and it needs people to assist you in any way. I am Pumlani Mazubu. I am your entrepreneur.
If you would like to see yourself and your business in the very next Word of Mouth, then send an email to info@imanentrepreneur.co.za and tell us about your business, and we could be plugging you next. Now, we're almost at the end of the summit, but still on the way, Pearls of the Hustle and a visit to our book corner.
We're in Brown with Bossman, who'd like to share how one simple change made a big difference in his business.
It's got 2021. Same hairstyle for the past 20 years. Chief, time to be a changer. I opened a business call account that's free, and it's linked to my main business account.
Business call what?
A business call account separate from my main account that allows my business to start saving and earn interest from as little as 1 minute.
Like me, I use mine to manage my business cash flow properly by transferring money between accounts for free using the FNB app.
Be changeable.
Save and manage your cash flow with FNB's business call account. Switch to FNB, where one simple change makes a big difference. We are in Krugersdorp with Cindy and Loiso, who's about to find out that with the FNB app, there's no excuses.
Honey, let's go. We need to book flights for our getaway.
Skawara, love. We can book and pay for flights and car hire securely on the FNB app. Plus, we get bonus slow lounge visits to relax before our flights.
No. I forgot my card. We can't pay for this.
Skawara. I can scan to pay using FNB Pay on the FNB app.
Does the FNB app help you get life insurance?
Yeah, that and more in the palm of my hand.
Skawara! Take a leap with help. Switch to FNB, where one simple change makes a big difference.
Seeing my product in the shop, it makes me want to do more. I went into the veggie department. There was an old lady pushing a trolley, and she went there. She took the packet of green beans. She looked at it. She says, "No, I want 1532. Where is 1532 here? Because I bought it last time. It was so nice." And I was just close to her, and she didn't know that it was my green beans. Then I was so excited about it. She left the other one and go. Really, this is a true story. I've seen it with my real eye. Before I had my own farm, I was a foreman around Hazyview. While I was working at the fresh produce there, we had a shortage of spinach. I took that advantage and went home and started planting out of a backyard. I've started to supply my previous employee. A lot of hard work, yes. I've managed to save some money while I was working there because the money for the spinach that I was selling while I was there, all that money to come and buy a farm. Shoprite into Shile Kudu gore ke be le yona on board because gona jale ke kgona go lema ke supply ka nako and e tšee stock sa ga ka kam ka sona. Over the last 10 years, I've supplied Freshmark with over 1 million packets of green beans. We pack only the nice green beans. So all those broken one and the skew one, we give it to the orphanage. They say that the hands that gives is the one that receives a lot of blessing.
Welcome back. You are still watching the I'm an Entrepreneur Summit. It is time for one of my favorite features. That is the book corner. Introspection, learning, and growth found in great reads. This time around, Akona Ngobo from KYA Consulting shares some of her favorite books.
Igama lami is Akona Ngobo. I am a life coach and I run a company called KYA Consulting. We are leadership development specialists. We help people understand why they think, feel, and behave the way that they do. Reading, I think I used to escape with reading. I'm an introvert. I think I'm an introvert. So when I was younger, to get away from like chatting to people, I would just read. I used to play basketball a lot, and I remember when we had tournaments, after a game, I would just open a book and read. So it's always been a way to just get into myself and shut the noise out. So for me, reading has always been just a way of silencing the world, and just being in my own zone. Incidentally, it also then means that you get to understand different perspectives of life. So the books that I'm going to go through, I've chosen 2 books. The one is called The Masterpiece by Francine Rivers. The second book is called The Choice by Edith Eger. And I'd love to read just the prefix of this book. It says, "Even in hell, hope can flower." So it just gives you wonderful insights that the thread of the book is really about hope, about overcoming. Whereas the masterpiece, the thread here is that even in our ashes, you're still a masterpiece. Everything that we are is a masterpiece in God's world. But it's finding ways to understand that how do we then come together as different masterpieces. I love Francine Rivers because the way she writes, she's a Christian author, but she takes like scriptures and makes them into more day-to-day kind of events. So I've enjoyed this particular book of hers. And The Choice I'm enjoying because the kind of work that I do really is about people and how they make choices. The Choice is about this family that survives the Holocaust, and just the things that they go through their journey. And I find that has had an impact on me in particular this year, because after COVID, I've just had a lot more people that I'm coaching that have been faced with realities that I never thought were possible before. So it's really given me insight into how people deal with pain, how people mask pain, and most importantly, how people overcome and suppress some of the things, or the consequences of suppressing what things they may feel or think. For me, the business side of business is not as difficult for me to do. The difficulty in navigating business for me is that every day I'm dealing with just different types of people. And both these books have helped me understand how people think and feel that the way that they do. So it gives me insight into just different behaviors. So for example, I may be coaching somebody that's that I find to be misogynistic. Of course, that would be problematic for me. But the point is, in my line of work, you've got to treat people with love and dignity, irrespective of what you think and believe. And I think these books have just really given me insight into the beautiful parts of people that I may otherwise judge in my other lens. So the masterpiece is about these two people that are brought together by life, essentially, to work together, but they are so different. The one is just very, very closed up, very angry at the world, and just incredibly successful, and he's a man. And the lady that comes to work for him is just coming from a divorce, very fragile, but how they initially judge each other. But when you remove judgment from, their different worlds, they realize that actually there's beauty in both ends of the world. And I think that has been beautiful for me and my business, because after COVID, I find myself doing leadership development or coaching people that are from all walks of life and that are struggling in incredibly different ways. And I think people find it hard to articulate what they're feeling. The masterpiece has really helped me to understand, particularly the males that traditionally would not have been struggling before. They have never struggled until COVID or post-COVID, I suppose.
So many gems can be found in great reads. Akona, thank you so much for sharing some of your favorite books that you are inspired by. Talking about inspiration, here are some words of inspiration with Pearls of the Hustle.
It's important to innovate. Innovation is absolutely important. And by innovation, loosely, I mean the ability to create something when something wasn't there before. But another version of innovation is to go and find something that might still be there, but you do it in a particular way. That's called pivoting. One also pivots if they're on a particular journey towards an idea and they realize that maybe the journey I'm on isn't the journey I should be on. Maybe I should change tack and follow a different route. Now, Ari Fabian talks about this quite passionately.
That's one great thing, to be innovative, okay? But you need to be innovative and you need to be able to change, okay? Why do I say change? Is because in this constantly changing environment, if you're not changing your business model, or you're not rethinking how to do it or how to improve it or to change or to reflect what is going on in the marketplace, you're going to be left behind. So no matter how quickly you innovate in the beginning, if you're not prepared to change along the journey, you can be left behind. People pivot. So what happens is they pivot, they say to themselves, okay, I'm doing something this way, I'm going to do it another way, okay, and and when they pivot, they see the gap. So let me give you another great example. We all know about Uber. Yeah. Uber was not the first peer-to-peer share riding platform. It was actually for black cars, chauffeurs, big chauffeur cars. So this Travis guy that's actually just resigned as CEO because of poor behavior over there, he was actually sitting over there and he saw Lyft come out, Lyft, which isn't in this country, and they started peer-to-peer, and all he did was he said to himself, well, listen, Uber needs to become a peer-to-peer riding system. He was much stronger, he pivoted his business model, and we all know how powerful Uber is today.
It's It's been such a great day of learning about the importance of innovation in your business and why it is such a critical business strategy in this fast-paced, ever-changing business environment. And as a business leader, it's also been amazing to learn that it is so important that you drive the process and that you become deliberate and systematic in terms of making sure that the innovation process happens in your business and that your employers are also on the train to innovation. Thank you so much for joining us today. We absolutely value your feedback and love hearing from you, so do engage with us in the comment section if you've been watching via YouTube or Facebook. If you've been streaming via our website, you can send us a WhatsApp, and that is on 0783500768. And if you are on Facebook, do like our Facebook page. It is I Am an Entrepreneur. And if you are on Twitter or on Instagram, do follow us, IAAESA. And of course, the hashtag is IAAE Summit. Thank you so much for joining us. A very big thank you to our sponsors, FNB, and our partners, Renault and ShopRite. Until the very next I Am an Entrepreneur Summit, my name is Karabo Nsweng. Thank you so much for joining us. Keep building and growing your business.
The I'm an Entrepreneur Summit is sponsored by FNB in association with our partners.